question for you. What are the odds that if you want to implement a new habit into your life that you'll be successful? If you look at the statistics, it can be really sobering. 9 out of 10 people will give up on a goal that they have in just 1 year. 80% of people will regain weight that they've lost at 1 year, and 95% will regain it at 2 to 5 years. And lastly, new gym goers will stop going to the gym on average in about 5 weeks. Now, this can be shockingly disheartening, and we've all been there. The reason that this happens can be seen from research from USC. 40 to 50% of our daily behavior is automatic, meaning half the time you're really not in conscious control of what's happening. It's like there's invisible forces that are moving you to do things that you're really not aware of. And I think that a lot of us have a tendency to ride on motivation and just white knuckle it and grit our teeth and try to push through to reach our goals. But the fact of the matter is that most of the time, motivation will run out, you're gonna get tired, and eventually you're gonna burn out. Today, I'm gonna talk to you about the best techniques to make really rock solid habits easy. I'm gonna talk to you about a lot of things, but a couple of them are: 1, making your habits really easy and in fact hard not to do. I'm gonna talk to you about how to create routines that not only cause change in one area, but can have a trickle-down effect to affect many different areas and resulting in transformation. And lastly, I'm gonna talk to you about how you can hijack your current routines and habits to make creating new ones even easier to reach your goals. Stick around. Hey guys, I'm Ben, and thank you so much for checking out my channel. If you want more health-related content, please like and subscribe. So I want to talk about the often overlooked but essential key to unlocking the person that you want to become, and that's your habits. Before we even get to starting the habits, we should really make sure we're creating the right habits. In Charles Duhigg's book, The Power of Habit, he talks about this idea of keystone habits. These are habits that, once you implement them, can actually have a transformative effect on other areas of your life. So he talks about this study where researchers took obese individuals and told them just to write down what they ate, not to change anything about what they ate, but just to write down what they ate each day. What was very interesting is that the participants did write down what they ate, but they actually ended up eating much less than they normally do, eating at different times, eating different kinds of foods, even without any kind of prompts to do so. And this resulted in huge changes in their weight and their life. And this is actually much easier to do now than it was at the time of the study due to different apps and AI. All you have to do is type in a short description of what you ate, and it will give you all of the macronutrients. And this can be a really helpful practice to look at different nutrients that you take in each day, like your proteins and your carbs and such. But even if you aren't interested in looking at those things, it really just brings awareness to what you eat, which I think can be the most transformative result. What's equally important to picking the habit is how you implement it. What's the blueprint gonna be for this? Because a lot of times people will say things like, I wanna eat healthier, I wanna lose weight, I wanna exercise more. But when you try to reach out and grab it, there's really nothing there. There's nothing very specific. And research has shown that if you create what James Clear talks about in Atomic Habits called implementation intention, you can be very successful at creating a routine and a habit. This is writing down exactly what you want to do, when you want to do it, and what are different roadblocks that can come up for you in the meantime. So I want to work out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 45 minutes at the gym lifting weights. If I'm not able to do that, I'm going to work out at home with free weights at 7 o'clock for about 45 minutes or so. Something like that, just having a very specific intention about what you're going to do and writing that down. The idea is that you just want to make creating habits easy. You don't want to sit there and think, okay, how much am I going to do this week? When am I going to do it? How am I going to fit it in at this time? Whoa, this came up, what am I going to do? All of that is taken care of for you and it's easy. So in Mini Habits by Stephen Guise, he talks about making laughably easy goals. Something that when you look at it, you're like, are you kidding me? It's like, if you want to walk more, just walk down the street and back. Or if you want to go to the gym more, maybe work out for 5 minutes doing 2 exercises and then leave. The idea being that there's this activation energy when you start any new habit that is really tough to get over, and what most people have a hard time pushing through in those first couple of weeks. And if you make it super easy, eventually you'll be able to do more and more, and you'll want to do more and more over time. This reminds me of when I was learning guitar. My friend told me to play 10 minutes a day. And at first, I really didn't enjoy it very much. It was kind of difficult. My fingers hurt. It sounded terrible. But after a while, I got kind of used to it. It became sort of a routine that I look forward to, and I really enjoyed playing. And I would start to play 30, 40, 60 minutes at a time. And he knew this, of course. He didn't really want me to play for 10 minutes. It's ideal to play much more. But once you get over that hump at the start, it's way easier. And that's the same thing with your goals with your health. You'll almost feel weird if you don't go to the gym after a while. It's just a routine that you've become adapted to. And you also want to make habits something that you enjoy. If you hate going to the gym, then don't go to the gym. There's no reason that you have to go to the gym in order to exercise. You're far more likely doing something that you actually enjoy. And there's so many different ways to exercise that it really doesn't make sense to just only pick like running on a treadmill or an elliptical or something like that. You know, if you love dancing, go to a dance class or go to Zumba. If you love going to the beach, maybe work out at the beach. There's, all kinds of things, racquetball, jujitsu, there's like a million things, basketball, sports that you can do instead. There's a really good TikTok channel from a channel called Neil Disney Walker, and it's this guy that loves going to Disney, and he also wanted to lose weight, so he decided to document his journey. And what he did was, instead of going to the gym or something like that, he loves going to Disney. He just went and walked in Disney, and he walked regularly. And at the time of this video, at least, I believe he's lost about 56 pounds doing that. He's really taken something that he actually enjoys going to exercise. And that's the ideal thing, is you almost exercise on accident. You're actually doing something that you enjoy instead of formally exercising. And this makes exercising super easy. And that's really the idea, is that you want to make whatever habit that you're trying to do for your health really easy to incorporate. Another way to do this is to make your habits or whatever you want to accomplish as loud and obvious and visible as possible. Scott Hogan, who wrote Built from Broken, talks about stimulus control. This idea that if there's a stimulus in your environment, you're far more likely to interact with that stimulus on a regular basis. I think the common thing of like a treadmill that has, clothes on top of it and all this other stuff that's in the garage is a really good case in point for that. You want to put whatever it is that you want to do front and center so that you almost can't ignore it. You have to like go around it kind of thing to do it. So he actually talks about something called movement snacks. He has in his environment all these different things that just incorporate exercise. So he'll have TRX shoulder straps and TheraBands and yoga wheels just to help counteract the sort of posture he has from working a chair all day, but also just to incorporate these little movements, these little movement snacks he calls them, that last like 1 to 2 minutes to just break things up. And it really makes sense when you think about it, because when you exercise, you're only exercising for about maybe 20, 30, maybe an hour long, at a time, a few times a week. And the rest of the time, most people are sedentary. So this idea of incorporating movement throughout the day can be really helpful and have this cumulative effect. And if this sounds far-fetched, it really isn't. There's some great studies and a really good TED Talk from Dr. James Levine, who coined this term NEAT, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It's this idea that you can burn up to 2,000 calories without ever formally exercising. And the ways that you do this are in really little subtle ways. Standing instead of sitting, fidgeting, taking little walk breaks, parking further away from the store so you have to walk a little further, walking upstairs. All of these different things can have a big cumulative effect that make a massive difference. So little routines can have a really big impact on other areas of your life. And one way that we see this is when we look at the habits that you already have in your life. Charles Duhigg talks about the habit loop, which is how every habit is made up. You have a cue or craving, you have the routine, and then you have the reward. So an example of this would be a cue is that I'm very stressed out. A routine is something to alleviate that stressor, which is I want to have some cookies. You have 3 to 4 different cookies. And then the reward is I don't feel stressed anymore. So the idea is that you take the cue and the reward, leave them alone. You just remove the routine and put in whatever it is that you want to put in and align it with what your goals are. We want to understand that and put something else in place that is more in line with what we want to do. So instead of eating cookies, maybe we could incorporate some kind of movement, maybe just a 2 to 5 minute walk break, or doing some push-ups or body weight squats would certainly help relieve stress, but lead to longer, more sustained releases of dopamine and serotonin and align better with your goals. And James Clear talks about this in Atomic Habits as well in a similar way. He talks about something called habit stacking, which is when you already have a habit in place and you put a habit to piggyback on that other one. So another example would be, say you get home from work, you're really tired, you want to enjoy a good show. What you would do is, when you come home, you would just lay on the couch and just binge watch a good show. Let's say that your goal is to exercise more. So something you can do instead of that is watch that show on an exercise bike or an elliptical or at the gym. You could leave your workout clothes right where you sit, typically on the couch, to watch that show. And that might be a reminder for you to, instead of do that, go run on the treadmill or walk on the treadmill and watch the show. So to wrap things up, number 1, pick Keystone habits. You want to pick those habits that are going to give you the most bang for your buck for whatever it is that you want to accomplish. Number 2 is you want to make a blueprint of whatever it is that you want to do. Make an implementation intention. Identify what roadblocks you might run into and be very specific about what you want to do, when you want to do it. It's going to really increase the odds that you'll be successful. Number 3, make it tiny. Don't start out super grand with this very daunting task that you have to do. Objects in motion tend to stay in motion. Build that momentum by starting low and going slow, and you'll get where you want to go eventually. Number 4, make it enjoyable. Try to think a little bit outside the box for whatever it is you want to do, and try to just have fun with it. Number 5 is remove the friction from whatever it is that could get in your way to impede your progress. Number 6, you want to create your environment so that it's very conducive to your goals. Use stimulus control. Try to have reminders in different places so that it inspires you to do whatever it is you want to do. And lastly, look at the habits that you have currently and try to do habit stacking. Put the habits that you want on top to piggyback on these ones that you already have. You'll be much more successful that way. So anyway, guys, I hope that this helps you out, and I would love to know what sort of habits and routines and goals do you have that you want to work on. Please leave those in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much.